What's up, fam? Michael Babbitt here, and I'm with this wonderful gentleman, Ruben Reza.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to be talking about THU's amp tweak and even a little Van Halen. Okay, back to amp tweak. Ruben, how does this work?
You have the defaults here. We have a Marshall type of amp, but we can change the preamp tubes. We can change the power amp tubes. Your 12AX7 is your default. You get the most gain. If you kind of want to tame that amp a little, go with something like a 12AT7. And, it's a cleaner sound. You'll still have smoother gain, but just not that raunchiness. Then you go to the power amp section, and you can see here it defaults to the EL34. Me personally, I like the 6V6. It's a smaller version of the American 6L6 that just has that headroomy type of sound, a little bit, quicker attack. So I can pick whatever I like, preamp-wise, power amp-wise, and voltage-wise. It's a really sweet thing.
The Variac. What the f*** is a Variac, man?
A Variac stands for variable AC, and what you can do with that is transform or change the amount of voltage that's coming out of the wall. In America here, we get 110 volts. So with the Variac, I can dial that voltage down to find that sweet spot that my fingers love, that my heart loves. 60 volts is that sweet spot for me. If I want to go 80, 90, I can go there and I can be happy. I'm going to back off on the voltage. I'm going to take it down to about like 85 volts. The volume's drop down just a little bit, not a lot. And I don't know if you can really hear it, but you can feel it when you play it. There's more of a sponginess. There's more compression. It sings a little bit more.
I know that there's a particular guitar player named Eddie Van Halen, and the Variac is actually something that makes up his sound.
There's a quick little legend where he was having dinner as a kid, and they had a dimmer switch in the dining room, and the light bulb went on over his head where he said, what if I can do something like that with an amplifier? He went to a local electronic shop, gave him a Variac, he took it home, and he just started tweaking with that, and that's how that sound became.
So speaking of the Van Halen sound that you just talked about, what about this signal chain here?
This is kind of a remake or replica of what Eddie Van Halen used. The Variac is a key ingredient, but also the early Van Halen stuff was built up, a lot of little components. 8090 was his home on the Variac. Okay. What he did switch out, though, on the power tubes, he used the 6CA7 back in the day. So the closest thing to that would be the 50-81. And that gives you just a more tighter sound, a more headroom, more accuracy. Where the EL34 is a little bit, saggish. So in addition to that, he had a couple other things. The Phase 90, you hear eruption, that filter type of sound, that's what he's known for. He also used to use an EQ as well for an extra gain stage. So pretty much before the amp, that's what he would have. But if you listen to the old Van Halen records and you turn off one speaker, you hear bass guitar on the other side, and then you hear just the reverb of the guitar. So what they did is the guitar would be on one side completely dry, and then they would add reverb on the other end. So what I did in the chain is, I added reverb on one side and then direct sound on the other side just to go all the way.
So you basically reproduced the sound right here.
Yeah, and it's pretty awesome. I was really excited when I did. I'm like, well, I can actually do that here.
Well, we got to hear it then. You can't just let us hang like that, man. Why not try THU yourself? Free for 14 days. Download it now at tryoverloud.com.